Support for this podcast comes from listeners and St. Alphonsus Health System, a regional network of hospitals, clinics, and care providers. St. Alphonsus offers comprehensive healthcare services to individuals and families throughout the community. More information about services and locations is available at stalphonsus.org.
From Boise State Public Radio, this is The Connector. It's Idaho's Daily News. Good morning. I'm George Prentice. We have an update on the food stamp crisis that is about to hit more than 130,000 Idahoans. Plus, we have a story on a backlog at the coroner's office. It is Wednesday, the 29th of October, and here we go with today's stories. A judge issued a preliminary injunction Tuesday, temporarily blocking layoffs of about 2,000 Interior Department workers during the federal shutdown. Hannah Mersbach reports that at least 1 in 5 of those Interior Department workers are here in the Mountain West.
Those 400 employees work for science centers or in regional land and water management. That's according to documents a federal judge in California ordered the feds to file. They detail proposed cuts to offices, but only those with union members, since unions filed the suit.
The actual number is certainly larger.
Aaron Weiss is with the Center for Western Priorities, which has been pushing back against the waves of layoffs that started earlier this year. He says these proposed cuts would devastate science and smaller national parks and lower morale.
I certainly can't blame anyone who's like, nope, this is not for me. Time to get out.
The Trump administration has said the shutdown provides an opportunity for layoffs. For the Mountain West News Bureau, I'm Hannah Mersbach.
So looking closer at those numbers here in Idaho, those targeted for layoffs include scores of workers at the Bureau of Land Management. More than 130,000 Idahoans will see their food stamps run out in November, which begins this Saturday. Uncertainty remains as officials share very little information on what comes next for people who rely on SNAP benefits. Julie Lucata reports.
In August, the average food stamp recipient in Idaho received $179 per month. Bannock, Lewis, and Shoshone counties have the highest percentage of SNAP recipients in the state, each with over 10% of residents on assistance. The Idaho Department of Health and Welfare said they didn't receive guidance from the USDA on what to expect when and if benefits are reinstated. It's unclear if food stamps will be paid retroactively after scheduled payments are missed. In a highly partisan message on their website, the U.S. Department of Agriculture blamed Democrats for the program running out of funds. In a statement, Idaho Democratic Party Chair Lauren Nicoccia called the administration's refusal to use emergency funds cruel, saying, quote, "The Trump regime is more focused on ballrooms and billionaires than on making sure Idaho families can put food on the table," end quote. Republican Representatives Mike Simpson and Russ Fulcher did not respond to requests for comment by broadcast time. Julie Lucata, Boise State Public Radio News.
We want to bring to your attention that Boise State Public Radio has put together a map of food banks. You can find it at boisestatepublicradio.org. This past spring, we reported about dozens of autopsy cases at the Ada County coroner open beyond the standard 90-day completion rate, and a couple of complex cases were still open after more than a year. A shortage of pathologists was causing the delays. The county's coroner said at the time he hoped to get caught up by the fall, but as Troy Oppie reports, progress is slow going.
The third and newest pathologist at the Ada County Coroner's Office just took his certification board exam. Riffle says new autopsy cases and court appearances have slowed the catch-up process.
We're still a little bit behind, maybe 20 as opposed to 3 dozen.
Last budget year, county commissioners approved an extra $100,000 to hire contract pathologists. Riffle plans to use another contract doctor now to free up time for the county's pathologists to clear remaining cases. The coroner's office also got approval for 4 new staff positions this year, paid for by increasing internal revenue, fees charged for services like cremation and autopsies for other counties.
So we have an additional technician coming on, so that'll ease the pressure on that. We have a investigator coming on. We're almost there. I keep saying what I've been trying to do is get up to minimum staffing.
Riffle says even with those additions, he's still a couple positions shy of minimum staffing, and he'll be asking for new positions again next budget year. Troy Oppie, Boise State Public Radio News.
At Boise City Hall on Tuesday, a farewell to Parks and Rec Director Doug Holloway, who is officially retiring this Friday. But of course, the City Council meets on Tuesday, so yesterday that gave them the opportunity to say thank you. Here's Boise Mayor Lauren McLean.
You have served the city with honor and commitment and just like plain old-fashioned joy every day.
And then this from Council President Colin Nash.
Thank you so much. There's so many times, I've told you this personally, but there's so many times where we have a problem in the city and some other department. And we're just like, I think Doug Holloway could unwind something like this pretty quickly.
So the mayor and the council designated yesterday to be Doug Holloway Day in Boise. Here is Mr. Holloway with some parting thoughts.
This city's in great hands. This organization is, and so is this city. So thank you all so much. I appreciate it. And so what do I do with the day? Like, do I get like free food in town or something?
You'll have to work
Free
that
beer?
out outside of this building.
Yeah, I was just kind of curious what all that means, you know. Anyway, thank you so much, Mayor.
I think you just get to tell everybody and can make it what you want of it.
There you go.
Doug Holloway worked for the city for 24 years. Beginning next week, Sarah Arkle takes over as the city's new director of Parks and Recreation. And that is today's episode of The Connector. I'm George Prentice. We'll see you back here Thursday. You can always stay in touch online at boisestatepublicradio.org and tell your friends about The Connector and how they can find it wherever they find their favorite podcasts. From now, thank you for listening.
Stay connected with Boise State Public Radio on Instagram. From breaking news and local stories to behind-the-scenes videos, it's where our community comes together. Follow Boise State Public Radio today.